there be no kind of peace like you beside me. No matter the rain, no matter the storm, I'm coming home.
Hey guys, so I am down here in the basement. I've been working on some cleanup. We did get quite a bit of rain, and I did have a little bit of cleanup left to do after our concrete pour on the second story. Pump truck broke, and so the hose was just squirting everywhere, which made a huge mess. So I've just basically been, you know, sweeping and shoveling up anything that I can that's dry and loose, but I've also had to chisel away and scrape up anything that actually, you know, hardened on the OSB upstairs and also down here. When they were pouring the walls, there was a lot of like spillage from the broken hose into our cold storage area. I've had to work on that floor, clean up quite a bit. It was a pretty big mess. So it's looking a little better. It's a little bit easier to walk around in here now that all the tools are cleaned up. I've done a lot of sweeping and shoveling. You can kind of see over in this corner here where the hose broke on the pump truck, and so concrete just sprayed everywhere. So I had a lot of cleanup to do to get all of that shoveled off the OSB. The walls are a little bit of a mess. I've still got some more cleanup to do, but all in all, it's looking pretty good, and I am very excited because over the weekend, my husband, my brother, and our son were able to, I don't know if I can show you from way down here, but on top of all of the walls, they were able to install the mud sill, and all the J-bolts are up there and they're in the concrete. So they were able to put, you can kind of tell on this one, you can see the 2x8 up there. So they've got all of that done and everything is ready to go for setting the trusses, which are set to be here any minute now. I'm very excited about getting our trusses. Things have been so extremely busy. This week we had our trusses delivered. I've got a lot of lumber over here right in front of me that I've got to move today. We're gonna be setting all of our trusses, which is so exciting. But I've got to move this, and I don't have a tractor, so I've got to move all of that by hand because this is the temporary road that they're gonna be driving out on. And the other thing I've got to do today is I'm gonna take, I don't know if you can see it, but over there I've got a lot of 2x4 scraps that we used for bracing. I've got to cut those all down to size so we can set them in between all of the trusses. I can't remember how many Aaron said that we need, but it's hundreds. We need a lot of them. There's a lot of trusses to set to head into the house, and while I'm walking out here, we're gonna walk and talk at the same time. The mud sill is on. We do have to mark everywhere where the trusses are gonna be going just to make it easier. We've gotta lay that out, and like I said, I've got a lot of 2x4s to cut. So that's what I'm gonna be up to today. I cannot wait to see the trusses go out. It's gonna be amazing. Okay, so update. Aaron just texted me and let me know that the crane is actually coming tomorrow morning. outside. We actually just had a delivery. Our shingles are here. I'm kind of nervous about looking at them. I've only seen a sample, which if you've ever looked at siding or, you know, roofing materials, the samples aren't very big. It's not the same as seeing it all across your roof. Like the color variation in choosing a product, especially shingles, can really be different from sheet to sheet. So I'm excited to get out there and open a pack and look at them, and fingers crossed they are what I was hoping for. Well, this is everything that we need for the roof. Everything else we had delivered before. It's already in the garage over there. But this was the last of it, and pretty exciting. This is everything we need to get our roof on. And you guys know that we've been doing a ton of backfilling, and Aaron's uncle actually came over with his loader and moved a ton of dirt for us. You know, first he scraped off all of the topsoil and saved it in piles for us, but then he smoothed out our side yard, and he stacked 3 massive piles right in front of the garage, because that's how much fill we still need to bring into the garage floor and compact it all. So that just kind of gives you an idea of just how much dirt we had to move for this project. So to catch you up to speed, what we've been working on is putting all of the OSB on the roof. We did go with 5/8 sheeting for the roof, and we've had so much rain and snow and sleet. It's just been miserable. So what the guys did last weekend and this weekend, they rented a SkyTrack. That way they could get the sheets up there safely. They ended up building a platform that had railings and was large enough to fit, you know, a 4x8 sheet on top of it. That way they could just boom right up to the roof and be extremely safe, even in the rain and in the snow. So I'm back outside. As you can probably tell, it is getting a lot colder out here. We worked on the roof every single weekend and on evenings sometimes. Sometimes we'd only be able to get up there for about an hour before it would be dark. So the roof has been finished for about a week now, and I have been trying to get some clips so I could show you guys and wrap up this video. But it has been snowing every day since we got back from our trip. So I'm gonna walk outside, I'm gonna show you the roof, but it is a little covered in snow. The little bit of snow that we've been getting is supposed to melt, and by next week I should be able to get some clear shots of the roof, and if I'm able to get those, I'll add them on to the end of this video. So this is my first time walking in here with a completed roof. This is amazing. Feels really good to get this buttoned up. The only thing that could make this better is if our windows were here. I recently got an update on when they're gonna be shipping the windows out, and it's not until January 9th. So I think what I'm gonna do is get some house wrap, some Tyvek or something, and I'm just going to cover these windows. That way the light will still come through, but the wrap will help keep the wind and the snow and all the nasty weather out for the next few months while we work in here. Regardless of how cold it gets, we've got to keep things moving. We'll be spending the next few weeks and months mapping out all of our electrical and all of our plumbing. That way we can get that all run this winter. And then of course, once the windows get here, we're gonna work on getting those installed and then hopefully getting our siding up early spring. We figure we can just focus on the interior, get all the plumbing run, get all the electrical run, you know, get everything figured out. A lot of thought is gonna have to go into all of the outlet placing, all of the lighting placing, and of course, to run all our electrical, we have to cut out the foam. So that's gonna be very time consuming. It'll probably take us all of January and February to get all of that done. I know this probably seems to you guys like it's taking forever. And I actually was curious how long we've been working on this, and I looked it up over the weekend and it was 530 days since we broke ground. I got to thinking about how much of an undertaking this is. You know, Aaron and I work on this as much as we possibly can without sacrificing huge amounts of like family time. We still try to fit in all the regular things and then work on this in our free time, like weekends, nights. I work on it as much as I can during the weekday while he's at work. And it's just really a huge undertaking, but it's going to be so worth it in the end to us. We wouldn't be able to hire all of this out. There is just no way. Honestly, a lot of times when we've hired things out in the past, we were disappointed by the quality of work simply because our budget didn't allow us to hire out the best, you know, craftsmen and tradesmen. This is something that we've wanted to do for a really long time, something that we knew would be super hard and very exhausting and complex, you know, and we realize that this is gonna be a marathon, not a sprint. And when all of this is done, we're gonna be so, so glad that we chose to do this. And even at this point, like we're tired and it's been a long 530 days, but we are glad that we started, that we didn't wait, and that we've just been, you know, plugging away a little bit at a time each day, every weekend. Eventually, we're gonna get there. Aaron and I hope that in sharing these videos that inspires other people to do the best they can with what they have. No matter what your goals are, no matter what your dreams are, if they seem completely overwhelming, but yet you still wanna try them, I'm here to say, like, go for it. Just go for it. You're not going to ever get anywhere by putting it off until the perfect timing, because there's never gonna be a perfect time to tackle something, you know, like this, or whatever it is that you have, the goals that you have. Sometimes our dreams are huge and they seem completely impossible, but if you work on it a little bit at a time, it's not impossible. You just have to start. Like I said before, all you can do is the very best that you can in your circumstances with what you have. I honestly believe incredible things can happen when you're willing to do that.
Leave open the gate, don't turn off the light. I'm coming home, I'm coming home.